Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. This is probably one of the worst roads in Paphos. So there's one or two undulations and the camera's probably going to bounce around a little bit. And hopefully when you come to Paphos, you don't have to drive on this road. On the left-hand side is the International School of Paphos, by the way. So perhaps if you are relocating to downtown Paphos and you've got a couple of not so littlies, but teenagers, that's where you may want to get them booked in to get that special education. Of course, they follow the UK curriculum, as do one or two other private schools in and around Paphos. Anyway, on with the drive. Where are we? Well, we've just entered Paphos from the Masoi Avenue area, shall we say, and now we're working our way down towards Anavargos, and we're going to keep on going straight towards the Limassol roundabout. At that roundabout, we are going to take a right, and guess what? We're going to head down to downtown Kato Paphos. So don't click off just yet. And of course, if you do like what you see, hit the like, smash that subscribe, and please don't forget to keep on coming back for now a little bit more of my complete and utter madness as I take you on my travels, my little adventures in and around Paphos. And of course, if there's somewhere that you'd like me to go, why not drop it into the comments? And you never know, that video may be coming very soon indeed. There's these undulations again that I'm talking about. I think one of these days they are going to dig this road up and resurface it. Well, let's hope so anyway. But of course, it's one of the main feeder roads, so it's going to cause absolute pandemonium of people wandering around thinking I'm lost, because that is something in Cyprus, by the way, without trying to make fun of everyone. It's the same with the foreigners who come to live here. Once they live here, something happens to the brain and they use the same road over and over and over, and then when there's a diversion, they just have this look of bewilderment and they are literally lost. Anyway, let's get on with the trip. As I was saying, this roundabout here is not the Limassol roundabout. This is one of the fountain roundabouts in Anavargos. If you go straight, which we're going to go, we're going to come to the Limassol roundabout. But if you would go to right, you would come to the bottom of the Masoi Avenue. And if you take a left, you would head down towards the Old Town. But anyway, here we go. If you're wondering why it's quite quiet on the roads, because today is a bank holiday. Yep. We have quite a few of them in Cyprus. Not a bad thing, is it, getting holidays? And today is a bank holiday. It's the Independence Day of Cyprus. Yes, so there we go. They got independence from those terrible people known as the British Empire. Hold on a minute, I'm one of those people. No, only joking, I'm Welsh. Well, part of the British Empire, obviously. Anyway, now, that's why the traffic is light, shall we say. Now, if you happen to own a property in Cyprus, and in Paphos in particular, obviously, and you want to pay your electricity bill, on the left-hand side is the office. Yes, big fancy building. They spent many millions on it a couple of years ago, and then they said they couldn't make any money, and then they put the price of electricity up and all those kind of things. And here's a good one for you, by the way. You know, they produce electricity, don't they, because they are the Electricity Authority of Cyprus, but they don't have any electric cars in their fleet. Some kind of logic in there, isn't there? But of course, if you're not having to pay for that benzene, people like you and I are, what would you want to have electric cars for and have to forget to charge them up and all those kind of things? Big shout out to a gentleman who's got an electric car who's coming to Paphos very soon. He's going to grab the hand of his girl, and of course that is Lady Jodie. So big shout out to Lord of the Tesla, and we're looking forward to seeing you when you get on that big bird and touch down in downtown Paphos. And of course, if anyone's looking for us, we're easy to find. I'm an idiot in a blue hat with a pair of sunglasses, dressed head to toe in blue. I've always got a blonde beauty on my right-hand side, although sometimes she does go on the left-hand side, but we're a bit like Ant and Dec. She should be on my right-hand side, and she is drop dead gorgeous. Thank you, Sir Daniel. and of course his girl, who's always right, Lady Sherry, who touched down in Paphos only last night. And we thank you so much, because they set off early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning UK time, had to get to the airport, then wait in the airport, then get on the aeroplane, then get off the aeroplane, then go and get their suitcases. But instead of going straight to their complex where they were staying, no, they didn't do that. They came straight to the downtown Kato Paphos harbour, to the King's restaurant. That's where you're going to find us, by the way. And they sat down, had a drink or two, and chewed the fat with myself. And of course, the most beautiful woman in the world, my Marika. Her on-screen name is Misochin Gracivial Booth. And we do thank Sir Daniel and of course Lady Sherry from the bottom of our two hearts. Thank you very much indeed. Now, go to bed. That's what I'm saying, go to bed. I'd also like to do a big shout out to two superstars from downtown in Holland. Yeah, they were coming in the harbour, they spotted me. I saw this cheeky grin on this gentleman's face, and then his wife started smiling as well, and they came over, sat down, got themselves a drink, and we chewed the fat. Big shout out to a gentleman known as Sir Ronald, and of course his girl Lady Eleanor. Thank you very much indeed. And hopefully once you've been gallivanting, they're going to Pasuri, they're going to Onimus, they're going up to the Troodos, they're going to Nicosia. Hopefully when you come back, you'll come and join us again for a chat and a drink or two. So everyone who watches us, if you want to have a sit and chat with us, please come and find us at the King's restaurant. We're there most evenings from around about 8 o'clock, or maybe if you're very unlucky, you might catch us in and around downtown Kato Paphos, Promenade and Harbour area. If you're a little bit shy, wait till we stop filming, but please come over and say a big hello. If you're not shy, just come and say a big hello on camera, and perhaps say hello to your cat or your dog, or perhaps your family and your friends. Anyway, here we go. We're working our way down to downtown Kato Paphos. And there was a lady, I think in the comments, who wrote that it is Kato Paphos. Yes, I know it is Kato Paphos, but I always say Kato Paphos, and I always say downtown. And one of the crazy things is that many of our locals now, and I mean Cypriots, you understand me, are now actually saying to me what's going on in downtown Kato Paphos. So slowly but surely, the way that I pronounce it is going into Cypriot culture. I'm not saying that's correct, but it's a bit of a joke and a bit of a laugh, isn't it? My pronunciation is Sherlock Holmes. And if you are new to the channel, and perhaps you are curious to know why do we say Sherlock Holmes, well, Sherlock Holmes came into the channel a long time ago when I was talking a little rubbish, as I always do, and Marika, Sergeant Gracila Booth, was going to say you are talking a load of S-H-I-T, but she improvised with the words, you are talking a load of Sherlock Holmes. And as a gentleman wrote in the comments, even the guy that invented the character and wrote the books apparently thought that Sherlock Holmes was, well, S-H-I-T. Now we're taking it very carefully here, because if these lights go to amber, well, they don't even go to amber by the way, they go straight to red. And what happens is the camera flashes, and of course you get an infringement on your credit card, and that infringement is €300. So if I was you, I would drive around very carefully. And again, this stretch of road going down towards downtown Kato Paphos, often the boys and the girls in blue can be waiting, and I mean it, waiting especially for you. So stick to the speed limits. You're not going to get there any faster, because there's traffic, there's cats, there's dogs, there's idiots in blue hats walking around with cameras, and blonde beauties dancing and prancing. So take it easy, and you will leave the island of love with no infringements on your credit card, and you'll be much less stressed. And of course you can enjoy the beauty and the spectacality of the area known as downtown Kato Paphos. And of course, as tradition goes, that sky is blue. The sea, it's blue. Mr. Paul, he's dressed head to toe in blue. So all that's missing is you. So why not get yourself on that Tinternet and then get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy, because Paphos, Cyprus, Marika and me, oh yeah, we're waiting, and we really, really are waiting, especially for you. Now, we are about to cross this roundabout, and technically we are in downtown Kato Paphos. So don't click off just yet. We're going to join the main Posidonis Avenue, which is the hotel's road to you and me, the hotel strip. I'm going to name a hotel or two, and I'm going to take you down to the promenade and down to the downtown Kato Paphos harbour area. The views are going to be to die for, and you never know, you might even get a little bit of information that you didn't know about before. Now, what can we talk about? Well, a lot of people are starting to make inquiries, and a few of them have hired cars via Mr. Paul. That's me. Why are they hiring cars off me? I'll tell you why. One, our service is better than anybody else's, but two, and most importantly, there is no infringement on your credit card. In other words, there is no blockage. There's no 300, 500, 600, 800, 1200. Yes, you heard me correctly. Some hire car companies are blocking as much as 1200 euros on your credit card. And as Baron John and Baroness Louise were telling me, some of them even actually charge it to your credit card and then refund it to your credit card, provided there are no damages to the car. But even that in itself costs you 20 to 30 euros in transactions. So a little bit of information that I didn't understand, and perhaps you don't understand either. So I'm not telling you to hire a car from me. What I'm saying is, if you do, you will not have any worries about that blockage on your credit card. Obviously, if you damage the car, if you scuff the bumper, we understand that most of our customers are very honest, and they will say, look, I clipped the corner of your bumper, how much is that? And we'll say to you, well, 150 euros, something like that. We're very, very reasonable indeed. Anyway, enough of hiring cars. If you want one, go through to our about page. My email's there, message us, and we'll move heaven and earth to deliver that car to you, collect that car from you when you've finished. You pay the agreed price. If you damage it, you pay us a little bit of money. So simple as that. Hotels Road, this is where we are, and we're heading in the direction of downtown Kato Paphos. And of course, this is where all of the improvements have been taking place. Lots of people have been to Paphos, unfortunately, when those improvements were taking place. But now if you come to Paphos, look, it's all done. All the pavements on both sides are beautiful. Brand new steps in and out of the shops and the bars and the restaurants. You've got the Annabelle Hotel on the left hand side. This is the last hotel, by the way, before you get to the promenade and the harbour area. Although there is a hotel set back, not beachside, behind these restaurants here, and that is the Dionysus Central Hotel. Very popular hotel indeed. And thinking that hotel, big shout out to a girl in downtown Glasgow. Her name is Lady Kirstine. She's got a Sir Scott in her life, and she's got a little superstar of a grandson, and his name is Alexander the Fantastic. And one of these days he is going to come to Paphos, and I'm going to race him up and down the downtown Kato Paphos promenade. And I got a feeling he's probably going to beat me, but I'll be carrying a truncheon or something like that. Perhaps I'll clip him on one of his feet. Only joking, only joking. Downtown Kato Paphos promenade is on the left. We're in the back streets, and we're going to work our way towards the downtown Kato Paphos harbour. So don't click off just yet. You are going to get views that are quite simply to die for. And remember, we are in the first few days of October. So if you're looking for some winter sun, get yourself on that Tinternet and choose Paphos. Paphos could be the greatest Mediterranean resort in the world. And of course, it's getting better and better every single day. And we thank each and every one of you that comes to Paphos. And perhaps if you've not been to Paphos, perhaps if you're just thinking about it, just do it. Book that holiday. You're going to have a great great time. And if you are looking at a complex or a hotel and you're a little bit unsure of it, why not drop it in the comments? Tell us what you're looking for. Tell us your ages, how many of you are there, what sort of holiday do you want, and we will give you our honest opinion and perhaps point you in the correct direction of where you should be staying. So, rear streets of downtown Kato Paphos Promenade at this roundabout, which we call the Harbour Roundabout. If you go right, you would head up towards the King's Avenue Mall, or Paphos Mall as it's called for short, but we are going to take a left and we're going to head deep into downtown Kato Paphos Harbour area, and we're going to circumnavigate the rear of the restaurants. Big free car park right in front of us, by the way, and a big free car park to the rear of the restaurants, and we are going to go and have a look out into the blueness of that blue Mediterranean Sea, and you're going to see the brand new sunset viewing point, and you're going to see the rather old Paphos Castle. And these are some of the highlights when you come on that big bird on that special holiday to Paphos. And there's a lot of people having a great time indeed. A lot of people wandering around, as you may have noticed, with not that much in clothing on, because if you're curious to know the temperature today, according to the car, and it's a Japanese car, so they very rarely lie, it is 31 degrees and we are just past midday. So there's a lot of people wandering around, perhaps walking off their breakfast and thinking about where they're going to go and eat their lunch, or perhaps just sup on a pint or two. On the left is the harbour kiosk, known as the wood kiosk. It's actually concrete, but with little bits of wood stuck on it, hence its name, the wood kiosk. And this area now is the harbour. Lots of cruise ships, small ones, big ones. Main harbour bus terminal is coming up over here on the right. So if you are coming on a bus and it says harbour, this is where you are going to dismount. And as we can see, there's a little bit of congestion because some of these bus trips are coming to the boats, you see. This in front of us is one of the municipality buses that whizzes you around Paphos, but the two buses that are blocking us are dropping off coach loads of people. Let's hope they don't keep us too long. There we go. Perhaps we should get a moped. It'd be much easier, wouldn't it? We wouldn't be stuck in traffic. Anyway, big shout out to some of the guys that like to watch the show now and again. If your name is Baron Frank, and of course he's got a yoga dancing superstar of a partner of his crimes, and of course that is Baroness Llewellyn. Thank you very much for continuing to keep the channel afloat, and a big shout out and a thank you. Marika mentioned it in a video only a couple of days ago. These guys were staying in Ayia Napa and they hired themselves a car and they drove all the way from Ayia Napa to Paphos to sit with us for a couple of hours, and well, it took our breath away, and we do thank you very much indeed. We had a great time. Thank you for the cigar, thank you for the flask, and Marika thanks you for her gifts as well. And we're looking forward to seeing you when you come back in the springish time to downtown Kato Paphos. And another big shout out to some guys in downtown South Wales. If your name is Lord Lee and there's a girl in your life called Lady Vicky, we're looking forward to seeing you very soon indeed. And of course November is a coming. Anyway, we're in gridlock traffic and all we want to do is sneak down there on the left hand side to get to the rear of the harbour restaurants, but these two buses are a little bit inconsiderate because they could have kept going a bit, by the way, and there is Pacific parking for these buses. But there we are in downtown Paphos, downtown Kato Paphos to get exact. I think that's the same guy on his moped, isn't it? Perhaps he's forgotten to deliver something that was ordered. Anyway, we'll sit here a bit longer because I want to take you and show you that view out into the blue Mediterranean Sea. And a big shout out again to two very regular viewers, and I understand they watch my channel, which is Cars and Me. Find it on YouTube. They also watch Marika's channel, which is Marika and You. If your name is Lady Alison and you've got a mum, her name is Lainey Enid, thank you very much. for watching us, and thank you very, very much for coming to see us in the harbour when you were staying at the Mayfair Hotel. And we know you had a great, great time, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys when you get on a big bird and come back to Paphos again next year. I tell you, very, very inconsiderate buses, aren't they? But this is life. What can you do? There's no point in getting frustrated, so we'll look for a cigar, which we've got here, and that'll chill us out and calm us down. And we've got a nice little bottle of water as well. Let's have a quick swig. Always carry water with you, by the way, even at this time of year, because it's hot. Don't set off on your adventures. We've all read these stories in the Daily Mail. Yes, I read the Daily Mail. And people unfortunately get themselves into trouble, don't they? So be careful when you're out and about, and don't go off the beaten track. Just come down to downtown Kato Paphos, promenade and harbour area. So that bus has unloaded, but it appears now that that bus, I know, that one's not quite so inconsiderate. That one was stuck behind that bus. Here we go. We're going to get there in the end, I promise you. Stick with us. Don't click off just yet. Excuse me, I was laughing at myself. The person in the Range Rover behind me is very impatient and honking his horn. He obviously hadn't seen the two tourists that were walking in front of me. So we'll drive that little bit slower, just to annoy him that little bit more. He's obviously late for his lunch or something like that. But whenever someone sticks themselves up your bottom, wherever you may be in the world, always drive that little bit slower, just so you can see the steam coming out of their ears. So here we are. We are to the rear of the harbour restaurants. In a moment, you's gonna get a view, and we're gonna keep on going as if we're gonna drive into that blue Mediterranean Sea. So like I say, another free car park to the rear of the restaurants, holds around about 200-ish cars. So if the main one on the front is full, which is free, I'll keep telling you again, come to the back, which again is free, dismount and go and have a great, great time in and around the harbour. And make sure you come to look at this, because as we can see, there's an awful lot of people enjoying those views, the spectacality and the beauty of downtown Kato Paphos, and of course all of the blueness, because everything is very, very blue indeed. All that's missing is you. Thanks for watching. I'll look forward to your company again very, very soon indeed. Let's light this big boy. Yep, life's good. Thanks for watching. Action-packed in downtown Kato Paphos. I think you've made a bit of a hash of that, dear, but never mind. She's got parking sensors, I suppose. Smack. But that is a view, quite simply, worth dying for.